Okay, so what I'm using today, I've just taken basically a little scarf, some fabric really, tied it together in a nice knot towards the end so that it's got a little fluttery tail to it, and this part can be a little bit harder. As well, I'm just using some basic rope, nothing too special. Honestly, I just want it thin. It can be even fishing line would even be more tactical for the goal that we're kind of keeping in mind. This would be relatively for a small dog. You can kind of think your Yorkies, Terriers, anything like little vermin breeds that would be hunting small game, just trying to trap it or catch it or hold on to it. This will kind of give them a little bit of an intense prey drive rush, not to mention it's something that you're leading, so you can really train this activity through as more or less of a good working game for the dog. You can understand, dogs evolved working. They didn't just, get food, water, and love and affection by being in the living room. So you can kind of understand this can be a very prideful game for most pups. And by giving a good basis of play, you're also getting the exercise we want. So that's the goal, right? So what I'm going to do here is just try and get as much of this through as I can to kind of get it tied together. I don't want to tie it just around the base, and I don't want to tie it just around the top. You kind of want to do a little bit of both. I'm just pulling it through one section. I'm going to wrap it around the back, do a quick pull through knot, and then do the same thing around the other side, so that I get tension both ways. And even if it pulls sideways or something like that, I can still get my my lure back. So basically, we're going to be playing a little bit of a game of fishing with our dog. We're going to stick this thing through probably one of the fence cables or something like that, and have the line run back out. And I'm going to pull this through the fence and back around. Hopefully, what we'll get is a nice lure from the dog for the dog to chase. Normally what I'll do is use like a tennis ball or something like that, but that requires me doing a good bit of effort and moving and things like that. Some of the ladies that I've been working with have really asked that I do show them some things that they can be stationary and won't have to worry as much about getting around moving. So like I said, this is one method that we can use to try and get our dog a little bit of exercise, as well as entice some prey drive, so that we're actually leading that activity and they're not using their prey drive instincts on our children or on the cat or little things like that. A lot of our dogs like to chase at squirrels and little things like that. This can also help you to stop the activity. You gotta understand that when I'm leading an activity, I can say, all right, enough is enough, and stop it. Through that repetition, you get access to say when you do and don't want to play with nature. So just the repetition of it kind of conditions the animal to go through it a little bit more nonchalantly. All right, well, I'll put my dogs to the fence. I'm going to be working with Louie here. He's a Chihuahua Yorkie mix. They call it a Chorkie. Holy. Get my boy here on a leash. All right, so I've got them tethered. Now I'm gonna go get Louie's prey drive up. So we gotta have him pretty stimulated to get this to go accordingly. So some of the things that I'll do, I'll shuffle back and forth, just getting him riled up, get him assuming the play. I like to make him go up and over my legs and do little things just to stimulate his prey drive. So you can already see he's pretty excited about it. I can give him a little applause. Remember, at home, we don't want to go to the object. We want to go to the dog, congratulate the dog. And then you can grab the object, move the dog away. Don't pull the object away. You see how that stimulates an attack. So obviously, if you have a bigger dog, this is something you definitely don't want to do, is pull the toy away. You push the dog away from the toy. Keep that in mind. All right, so now that he's good and stimulated, I can do this a couple of ways. I can run the cable out from me and just swing it around, somewhat like just a little round swing. Good boy. And then start it up again. Good job. And especially when it's light like this thing I've made out of just fabric, I can really swing it out far from me and keep him going after it at a distance. Especially when it's higher off the ground, because it's light, you get access to get him airborne a little bit, which can be pretty cute. There we go. And so again, I'll applaud him, go to him. Not towards the toy. He'll take a lot more pride in that too. I don't want to pay too much attention to the toy unless it's moving. Remember, if you have your children doing this activity, make sure they understand. You know, because if the play gets a little too rough, you want them to know that no movement means no fun. You're not going to keep playing if nothing's moving. Once it stops, the dog will kind of stop. That's just kind of part of it. So do understand, if your children are doing this activity and they get a little riled up and they decide that running away from the dog is the best thing to do, that will obviously take its toll. So the tether method that I wanted to show you guys, remember, I don't pull the toy away from the dog. Dog goes away from the toy. Okay, or at least I put something in the way to block the sight of something moving away from the dog. Just so you don't stimulate him into your body or something like that. So the tether method that I was talking about, pull it away from the tree, drop it out away from me. I go and retrieve the end of my string, which is also attached to the tree, somewhat like a pulley system. I'm going to try and arouse Louie to check out the lure that I have as I pull backwards on this, pulling the lure to me. Okay. Ooh. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And see, now I get access to watch him pull on that thing a little bit from the tree, which is pretty cool. And now I can pull it away from the tree and do somewhat of the same. Good boy. Well, that's been another episode of Exercise My Dog. This is Louie, and y'all stay tuned in for the next one.